Touched by an Angel brought hope, faith, and inspiration to millions during its 9-year run. But while the show was filled with uplifting messages, the real-life stories of some of its cast members took darker, more tragic turns. In this article, we explore the heartbreaking fates of 29 actors from the beloved series. Discover the struggles, untimely deaths, and emotional challenges that befell these stars after their time in the spotlight, offering a poignant contrast to the show's message of light and salvation. Paul Winfield, born on May 22, 1939, in Los Angeles, was a bright and curious child who found solace in literature and the arts. Raised in a family that encouraged creativity, he developed a passion for acting early on. He pursued higher education at the University of Portland and Stanford University, where he honed his craft. Winfield gained acclaim in 1995 for his role as Sam on Touched by an Angel, captivating audiences with his emotional depth. A pivotal moment in his career was his Academy Award-nominated performance in Sounder, which showcased his talent and versatility. Throughout his life, Winfield had a long-term relationship with architect Charles Gillan Jr. Although he never married, his bond with Gillan was profound and supportive. Tragically, Winfield faced significant heartache with the loss of his partner and his own battle with diabetes, which impacted his health in later years. He passed away on March 7, 2004, at the age of 64 from a heart attack, leaving behind a rich legacy of powerful performances and a commitment to social issues. Ossie Davis, born on December 18, 1917, in Cogdell, Georgia, was a determined child with a profound love for storytelling, often using his vivid imagination to escape the hardships of his environment. He studied at Howard University, where he nurtured his acting skills and deepened his commitment to the civil rights movement. In 1996, he appeared as Erasmus Jones on Touched by an Angel, a role that showcased his wisdom and charm. His notable works include his impactful performance in Spike Lee's Do the Right Thing, which resonated with audiences worldwide. Davis had a long and loving marriage to actress Ruby Dee, with whom he had 3 children, Nora, Guy, and Hasna. Together, they championed numerous social causes. Despite his professional achievements, Davis faced heartache with the loss of dear friends and fought a courageous battle against prostate cancer. He passed away on February 4, 2005, at the age of 87 from natural causes, leaving behind a legacy as a groundbreaking actor and a tireless advocate for justice and equality. Della Reese, born on July 6, 1931, was a spirited child in Detroit, Michigan, blessed with a powerful voice that would eventually captivate audiences around the globe. Her early life was steeped in gospel music, performing in church choirs and later attending Wayne State University, where she honed her craft. In 1994, she took on the role of Tess in Touched by an Angel, becoming a guiding light for those in need. Reese's music career was also notable, with her Grammy-nominated hit Don't You Know solidifying her place in the industry. Throughout her life, Della married and had 3 children, Dominique, James, and Franklin. However, her personal life was marked by tragedy as she endured the heartbreaking loss of her daughter, along with her struggles with diabetes, which she bravely faced. Despite these challenges, she was known for her warmth, generosity, and resilience. Della Reese passed away on November 19, 2017, at the age of 86 due to complications from diabetes, leaving behind a legacy of love, compassion, and inspiration that continues to resonate with many. John Dye, born on January 31, 1963, in Amory, Mississippi, was a charming and inquisitive boy who developed a passion for the arts at a young age. He pursued his education at Mississippi State University, where he first found his love for acting. In 1996, he joined the cast of Touched by an Angel as Andrew, the Angel of Death, a role that allowed him to showcase his deep empathy and compassion. John's career also included a standout performance in The Perfect Weapon, which highlighted his versatility as an actor. Despite his professional success, John never married and had no children, although he was surrounded by a close-knit group of friends who cherished him. His life was tinged with sorrow as he faced the painful loss of several close friends, which led him to struggle with depression. John Dye passed away on January 10, 2011, at the age of 47 from heart failure. His legacy is one of kindness, compassion, and the ability to touch the hearts of those around him, both on and off the screen. Charles Rocket, born on August 24, 1949, in Bangor, Maine, was a creative and adventurous child with a natural flair for comedy. He attended the Rhode Island School of Design, where he honed his artistic talents, before making his way to the entertainment industry. In 1994, he brought the character Adam to life on Touched by an Angel, adding a humorous touch to the show as a lovable angel. His career also flourished on Saturday Night Live, where his comedic skills shone brightly. Charles married and had one son, Zane, with whom he shared a close bond. However, his life was not without its hardships. He faced a significant career setback that deeply affected him and struggled with personal demons that ultimately clouded his life. Tragically, Charles Rocket passed away on October 7, 2005, at the age of 56 from suicide. Despite the complexities of his life, he is remembered for his wit, charm, and the laughter he brought to countless fans, leaving a bittersweet legacy of both joy and sorrow. Chloris Leechman, born on April 30, 1926, in Des Moines, Iowa, grew up as a spirited child with a natural flair for the dramatic arts. Her education at Northwestern University allowed her to refine her skills and prepare for a career that would span several decades. In 1997, she joined the cast of Touched by an Angel as Ruth, a role that combined humor and emotional depth, endearing her to audiences. Leechman won an Academy Award for her outstanding performance in The Last Picture Show, which marked a significant milestone in her career. Throughout her life, she married and had 5 children, Brian, Morgan, Dinah, George, and Adam, balancing her professional and personal life with grace. Despite her success, Leechman faced profound tragedies, including the heartbreaking loss of her son Brian and personal health challenges that affected her later years. She continued to work in the industry until her passing on January 27, 2021, at the age of 94 due to natural causes, leaving a remarkable legacy of talent, versatility, and resilience that inspired many. Rue McClanahan, born on February 21, 1934, in Healdton, Oklahoma, was a lively child with a flair for drama, often captivating her peers with her performances. Her education at the University of Tulsa honed her talents, setting her on a path to stardom. In 1994, she portrayed Lila Winslow on Touched by an Angel, bringing warmth and depth to her role. However, Rue is perhaps best known for her iconic portrayal of Blanche Devereaux on The Golden Girls, which showcased her comedic brilliance and became a defining moment in her career. Over her lifetime, Rue was married 6 times and had one son, Mark, whom she raised amidst the turbulence of her relationships. Her life was marred by personal struggles, including the emotional turmoil of multiple divorces and a battle with breast cancer, which she bravely faced. Rue McClanahan passed away on June 3, 2010, at the age of 76 from a brain hemorrhage, leaving a legacy of unforgettable performances and a lasting impact on television history. Patty Duke, born on December 14, 1946, in Elmira, New York, was a gifted child star whose talent shone through from an early age. Her education at the Professional Children's School in New York City provided her with the foundation for an impressive acting career. In 1998, she played Dr. Jean on Touched by an Angel, adding a layer of compassion and depth to her character. Patty's career highlights included winning an Academy Award for her remarkable performance in The Miracle Worker, which showcased her extraordinary range and dedication to her craft. Throughout her tumultuous life, Patty was married 4 times and had 3 children, Sean, Mackenzie, and Kevin. However, her personal struggles were profound. She battled bipolar disorder and grappled with the emotional fallout from her father's loss. Patty Duke passed away on March 29, 2016, at the age of 69 from sepsis, leaving behind a legacy as a talented actress and a passionate advocate for mental health awareness. Celeste Holm, born on April 29, 1917, in New York City, was a spirited child who found joy in the arts from a young age. Her education at the University of Chicago and the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art in London refined her acting skills, preparing her for a brilliant career. In 1996, she played Hattie Green on Touched by an Angel, bringing grace and poise to her role, further endearing herself to fans of the show. A career highlight came when she won an Academy Award for her performance in Gentleman's Agreement, which solidified her status as a Hollywood icon. Throughout her life, Celeste married 5 times and had 1 son, Ted, but faced her share of tragedies, including the loss of her mother and a bitter family feud over her estate that brought her heartache. Celeste Holm passed away on July 15, 2012, at the age of 95 from natural causes, leaving behind a legacy of elegance, talent, and a wealth of unforgettable performances that continue to resonate in the world of film and theater. Suzan Douglas, born on April 12, 1957, in Chicago, was a gifted and determined child who discovered her love for performing arts early on. Her educational journey took her to Illinois State University and the Manhattan School of Music, where she honed her craft and developed her unique style. In 1996, Douglas captivated audiences with her portrayal of Brianna Springbelt on Touched by an Angel, showcasing her remarkable depth and grace. A significant career highlight was her performance in Tap, where she shared the screen with legends Gregory Hines and Sammy Davis Jr., solidifying her place in the world of dance and acting. In her personal life, Suzan married and had 1 daughter, Jordan, whom she cherished deeply. Tragically, she faced the heart-wrenching loss of her parents and later battled pancreatic cancer. Douglas passed away on July 6, 2021, at the age of 64 from pancreatic cancer, leaving behind a legacy of elegance and powerful performances that continue to inspire many. Soon Taek-oh, born on June 29, 1932, in Seoul, South Korea, was a bright and inquisitive child with a deep-seated love for storytelling. His dedication to the arts led him to study at UCLA and later at the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art in London, launching a successful acting career. In 1997, he brought a unique perspective to his role as Kim Cheong-kyung on Touched by an Angel, earning admiration for his compelling performance. Soon Taek's voice work as Fa Zhou in Disney's animated classic Mulan remains a beloved highlight of his career, showcasing his versatility and talent. He married but did not have children, choosing instead to mentor many aspiring young actors, leaving a profound impact on their lives. Sadly, Soon Taek faced the tragic loss of his wife and battled Alzheimer's disease in his later years. He passed away on April 4, 2018, at the age of 85 from Alzheimer's disease, leaving a rich legacy of cultural and artistic contributions that resonate through the entertainment industry. Harold Gould, born on December 10, 1923, in Schenectady, New York, was a curious and imaginative child who found his passion in the world of performance. His education at Cornell University and the neighborhood playhouse provided a solid foundation for his acting career. In 1996, Gould portrayed Albert Einstein on Touched by an Angel, infusing the character with both intellect and heartfelt emotion, which resonated with audiences. A standout moment in his career was his role in the classic film The Sting, which garnered him critical acclaim and showcased his incredible range. Harold married and was a devoted father to 3 children, Deborah, Joshua, and Lowell. Despite his professional successes, he faced personal challenges, including the tragic loss of his wife and his own battle with prostate cancer. Gould passed away on September 11, 2010, at the age of 86 from prostate cancer, leaving a legacy of diverse and memorable performances that enriched the lives of many viewers. John McMartin, born on August 21, 1929, in Independence, Minnesota, was a bright and imaginative child who nurtured a passion for the stage from a young age. He attended the University of Minnesota and later Columbia University, where his acting skills flourished, shaping a distinguished career that spanned several decades. In 1997, he portrayed Earl Grey on Touched by an Angel, bringing a refined elegance and depth to his character that resonated with audiences. One of John's career highlights was his Tony-nominated performance in Sweet Charity, which showcased his exceptional talent and earned him acclaim in the theater community. John married once and had 2 daughters, Susan and Elizabeth, who brought joy to his life. However, he faced the tragic loss of his beloved wife, which deeply affected him, along with his own battle with cancer. John McMartin passed away on July 6, 2016, at the age of 86 from cancer, leaving behind a legacy of stellar performances on stage and screen that will be remembered for generations. Nell Carter, born on September 13, 1948, in Birmingham, Alabama, was a dynamic and talented child who discovered her passion for music and performance early in life. Her education at New York's High School of Performing Arts fueled her vibrant career, allowing her to shine in various roles. In 2001, she portrayed Cynthia Winslow on Touched by an Angel, captivating audiences with her powerful presence and magnetic energy. A career highlight came when she won a Tony Award for her role in Ain't Misbehavin', a milestone that solidified her status as a Broadway star. Nell was married twice and adopted 2 children, Joshua and Daniel, both of whom she adored. Tragically, she faced the heartbreaking loss of her brother and battled substance abuse, which created additional challenges in her life. Nell Carter passed away on January 23, 2003, at the age of 54 from heart disease, leaving a legacy of extraordinary talent, resilience, and a commitment to sharing her gifts with the world. Dick Van Patten, born on December 9, 1928, in New York City, was a joyful child with an innate talent for comedy and drama. His early interest in acting led him to Broadway at a young age, where he quickly made a name for himself. In 1995, he played E.B. on Touched by an Angel, infusing warmth and humor into his role and further endearing himself to fans. A significant career highlight was his portrayal of Tom Bradford in 8 is Enough, a role that cemented his place in television history and showcased his versatility as an actor. Dick married and had 3 sons, Nels, James, and Vincent, who brought much joy to his life. However, he faced the tragic loss of his wife, a blow that affected him deeply, as well as his own struggles with diabetes. Dick Van Patten passed away on June 23, 2015, at the age of 86 from complications related to diabetes, leaving a legacy of warmth, humor, and memorable performances that continue to resonate with audiences. Valerie Harper, born on August 22, 1939, in Suffern, New York, was a vibrant and spirited child with a natural flair for dance and performance. Harper's role in 1996 as Kate Prescott on Touched by an Angel was a testament to her ability to bring complexity and heart to any character. However, her career-defining moment came with her portrayal of Rhoda Morgenstern on The Mary Tyler Moore Show and its successful spin-off, Rhoda, a character that resonated deeply with audiences and earned her 4 Emmy Awards. Harper was married twice, first to actor Richard Shaw and later to Tony Cacciati, and she had 1 daughter, Christina, whom she adored. Throughout her life, Valerie faced both public and personal tragedies, including a highly publicized battle with brain cancer, which she fought with resilience and grace, as well as the loss of many close friends in the industry. Harper passed away on August 30, 2019, at the age of 80, from cancer, leaving behind a legacy of joy, resilience, and groundbreaking performances that inspired generations of viewers. Aljo, born on March 12, 1940, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, was a musical prodigy from an early age, blessed with a voice that would go on to captivate audiences worldwide. Growing up in a musical family, Giroux' early exposure to church music laid the foundation for his versatile career. He studied psychology at Ripon College and went on to receive a master's degree in vocational rehabilitation from the University of Iowa, yet music always remained his true calling. In 1996, Giroux made a special appearance as himself on Touched by an Angel, showcasing his signature vocal range and blending his music with the show's message of hope. His illustrious career saw him win 7 Grammy Awards across jazz, pop, and R&B categories, a rare and remarkable achievement. Giroux married twice, first to Phyllis Hall and later to Susan Player, with whom he had 1 son, Ryan. Despite the heights of his success, Giroux faced tragedy with the loss of his first wife and, in later years, struggled with significant health issues, including respiratory problems that eventually claimed his life. He passed away on February 12, 2017, at the age of 76 from respiratory failure, leaving a legacy as one of the most versatile and beloved vocalists in music history. Peter Scolari, born on September 12, 1955, in New Rochelle, New York, was a naturally imaginative and energetic child, finding his passion for acting at a young age. He attended the University of New Haven, where he developed his craft before embarking on a successful career in television and film. In 1994, Scolari joined the cast of Touched by an Angel as Charles Hibbard, bringing warmth and humor to the role and charming audiences with his nuanced performance. His breakout role came with the sitcom Bosom Buddies, where he starred alongside Tom Hanks, creating an unforgettable comedic duo. Scolari's career thrived for decades, including a Tony Award-winning Turn and Lucky Guy on Broadway. His personal life, however, was marked by challenges, as he went through 4 marriages and fathered 4 children, Nicholas, Joseph, Keaton, and Callie. He faced the heartbreak of multiple failed relationships and, in his later years, waged a public battle with cancer. Scolari passed away on October 22, 2021, at the age of 66, from cancer, leaving behind a legacy of heartfelt and versatile performances that span comedy, drama, and stage. Stuart Mara, born on January 31, 1940, in Davenport, Iowa, was a creative and energetic child who was drawn to the performing arts from a young age. His natural talent for acting blossomed further during his studies at the Pasadena Playhouse, where he refined his craft and laid the foundation for a long and successful career. In 1997, Stuart portrayed Ray Bishop on Touched by an Angel, where his charisma and depth brought an emotional weight to the character that resonated with viewers. However, one of the crowning achievements of his career was his Emmy Award-winning role as the charming and scheming Evelyn Angel Martin on The Rockford Files, a character that showcased his versatility. Stuart married and was a proud father to 2 children, Max and Michelle, both of whom he adored. Despite his successes, Stuart faced tragic moments in life, including the heartbreaking loss of his brother and his own battle with cancer, which took a toll on his health. Mara passed away on December 12, 2022, at the age of 82 from natural causes. David Canary, born on August 25, 1938, in Elwood, Indiana, grew up surrounded by music and theater, 2 passions that would shape his life. He pursued his education at the University of Cincinnati's College Conservatory of Music, where his talent flourished, launching his career on stage and screen. In 2001, David appeared on Touched by an Angel as Carter Winslow, a role that allowed him to add gravitas and emotional complexity to the show. His most celebrated work came from his dual roles as Adam and Stuart Chandler on the long-running soap opera All My Children. Playing both a ruthless and a kind-hearted character earned him 5 Daytime Emmy Awards and made him a household name. David was a dedicated family man, married with 2 children, Christopher and Catherine, who were the lights of his life. Sadly, he faced the tragic loss of his brother and later a difficult battle with Alzheimer's disease, which slowly stole away his memory. David Canary passed away on November 16, 2015, at the age of 77 from natural causes. John Ritter, born on September 17, 1948, in Burbank, California, was a joyful, energetic child who loved to make people laugh, a passion that would shape his career. His time at the University of Southern California helped him hone his comedic skills, preparing him for a lifetime in the entertainment industry. In 1996, he played Mike O'Connor on Touched by an Angel, where he brought his signature blend of humor and heart to the role. However, the highlight of his career came with his role as Jack Tripper on the iconic sitcom Three's Company, which made him a beloved figure in television comedy and earned him an Emmy Award. Ritter was married twice and had 4 children, Jason, Carly, Tyler, and Noah, all of whom followed his footsteps into the arts. His life was marked by deep personal loss, including the death of his father, country singer Tex Ritter, which profoundly affected him. John Ritter's own life was cut tragically short when he passed away unexpectedly on September 11, 2003, at the age of 54 from an aortic dissection. David Ogden Stiers, born on October 31, 1942, in Peoria, Illinois, was a naturally gifted and inquisitive child with an early fascination for the arts. His formal studies at the prestigious Juilliard School sharpened not only his acting abilities but also his musical talents, as he was a skilled conductor and musician. In 2003, Stiers appeared on Touched by an Angel as Jones, delivering a performance that demonstrated his refined and distinctive presence. However, he is perhaps best remembered for his role as the refined and witty Major Charles Emerson Winchester III on the iconic show MAS*H, a character that blended humor and heart with complexity. Despite his successful career, Stiers never married, and much of his personal life remained private, though he was known for his warmth and kindness among friends and colleagues. He faced significant losses, including the deaths of close friends, and in his later years, he battled bladder cancer. David Ogden Stiers passed away on March 3, 2018, at the age of 75, from bladder cancer, leaving behind a legacy of diverse roles that touched audiences on both the stage and screen. Linda Garinger, born on January 31, 1954, in Dallas, Texas, was an imaginative and introspective child who developed a deep love for acting early in life. Her studies at the University of Minnesota and the University of California, Irvine, where she earned an MFA, laid the groundwork for a fruitful career in theater and television. In 1994, Garinger played Laura Enloe on Touched by an Angel, captivating audiences with her subtle and emotionally nuanced performance. Though her television appearances were memorable, it was her extensive work in regional theater that defined her career, earning her critical acclaim for her versatility and dedication to the craft. Linda married but had no children, instead devoting much of her time to mentoring young actors and contributing to the artistic community. She endured the profound loss of both her parents and struggled with health issues that shadowed her later years. Linda Garinger passed away on May 17, 2024 at the age of 70 from natural causes, leaving a legacy of quiet determination, artistry, and generosity. Ken Page, born on January 20, 1954, in St. Louis, Missouri, was a vibrant and expressive child with a clear passion for the performing arts from a young age. His education at the St. Louis Conservatory of Music helped launch his career, and his powerful voice and commanding stage presence set him apart. In 1995, Page appeared on Touched by an Angel as Ox, a role that showcased his warmth and innate charm. His career highlight came with his iconic performance as the voice of Oogie Boogie in Tim Burton's beloved The Nightmare Before Christmas, a character that has become a staple in animation history. While Page never married, he was deeply loved and admired by friends, colleagues, and fans. His life, however, was marked by the loss of several dear friends, and he struggled with health issues, including diabetes, later in life. Ken Page passed away on September 30, 2024, at the age of 70 from complications related to diabetes, leaving behind a legacy as an unforgettable performer with a voice that will continue to echo through the generations. Natalie Cole, born on February 6, 1950, in Los Angeles, California, was a gifted and charismatic child who seemed destined to follow in her father Nat King Cole's legendary footsteps. Growing up in a household filled with music, Natalie developed a deep passion for singing and performing at an early age. Her education at the University of Massachusetts Amherst, where she majored in child psychology, and the University of Southern California helped refine both her musical and acting skills. In 1995, Natalie appeared on Touched by an Angel as Megan Brooks, where she displayed her powerful voice and natural talent for acting. Her career highlight was undoubtedly her Grammy-winning album Unforgettable, with Love, a touching tribute to her father that cemented her legacy in the music world. However, Natalie's life was marked by personal tragedies, including a long battle with drug addiction in the 1980s and the heartbreaking loss of her father when she was just 15. Despite her struggles, Natalie married twice and had one son, Robert. She also battled health issues later in life, including hepatitis C and kidney disease, but it was congestive heart failure that ultimately claimed her life on December 31, 2015, at the age of 65. Richard Roundtree, born on July 9, 1942, in New Rochelle, New York, was a charismatic and determined child who dreamed of leaving his mark on Hollywood. His time at Southern Illinois University and later at the Actors Studio laid the groundwork for his remarkable career. In 1996, he appeared on Touched by an Angel as Murray, effortlessly bringing his signature charm and gravitas to the role. Richard's most iconic achievement was his role as John Shaft in the groundbreaking Shaft series, where he portrayed the first black action hero in mainstream cinema. This role not only made him a cultural icon but also helped change the landscape of black representation in Hollywood. Richard was married twice and had one son, Matthew, whom he adored. Despite his successes, his life was not without heartbreak. He lost his first wife and later faced a personal battle with male breast cancer, a diagnosis he bravely fought and raised awareness for. Richard Roundtree passed away on October 24, 2023, at the age of 81, after a struggle with pancreatic cancer. John Spencer, born on December 20, 1946, in New York City, was a bright, ambitious child who developed a love for acting early on. His education at the University of Southern California and the Actors Studio allowed him to sharpen his craft, leading him to a prolific career in television and film. In 1995, he took on the role of Leo in Touched by an Angel, bringing depth and sincerity to the character, a hallmark of his acting. John's career soared when he portrayed Leo McGarry on the critically acclaimed series The West Wing, a role that earned him an Emmy Award and deep respect in the industry. His portrayal of Leo, a complex character dealing with addiction and the pressures of political life, mirrored some of Spencer's own struggles with alcohol earlier in his life. John married twice and had one son, John, who survived him. His later years were marred by health problems, including a heart condition that had plagued him for some time. Tragically, John Spencer passed away from a heart attack on December 16, 2005, just days before his 59th birthday. Marsha Strassman, born on April 28, 1948, in New York City, was a naturally talented and versatile actress who displayed a deep passion for performance from an early age. She attended the Young Professionals School in Manhattan, which nurtured her creativity and opened the door to an exciting acting career. In 1995, she made an appearance as Lisa Patcherick on Touched by an Angel, where she brought her signature warmth and emotional depth to the role. However, Strassman's most iconic performance was as Julie Mills on the beloved sitcom Welcome Back, Kotter, where her portrayal of the grounded and caring wife cemented her place in television history. In her personal life, Marsha married once and had one son, Robert, whom she adored. Her life was marked by personal tragedy, including the painful loss of her first husband, which left a deep emotional scar. She later faced a devastating battle with breast cancer, fighting bravely but ultimately succumbing to the disease. Marsha Strassman passed away on October 24, 2014, at the age of 66, from cancer. Richard Gilliland, born on January 23, 1950, in Fort Worth, Texas, was a charismatic and driven child who harbored dreams of becoming an actor from a young age. He pursued his passion through formal education, first at the University of Oklahoma and later at the University of Southern California, where he refined his craft and built the foundation for his successful acting career. In 1996, Gilliland brought his natural charm to the role of Stan Miller on Touched by an Angel, offering a performance that was both heartfelt and memorable. A key highlight of his career was his portrayal of Frank Kaminsky on Designing Women, where his comedic timing and on-screen chemistry made him a fan favorite. Richard married fellow actress Jean Smart, and the couple had two children, Melissa and Jonathan. Their marriage was a true Hollywood love story, spanning over 3 decades and characterized by mutual support and admiration. Despite his success, Gilliland faced personal hardships, including the early loss of his father and ongoing health struggles that plagued his later years. Richard Gilliland passed away unexpectedly on March 18, 2021, at the age of 71, from natural causes. What do you think about the deaths of the actors in Touched by an Angel, and who do you miss the most among them? Leave your comments below and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to see the latest videos.